Turn your Bibles to 1 Samuel chapter 7. And as I read that, we talked a little bit about it last week. And I said I was going to preach on it again, or speak about it. But you know, what's amazing, that as we were in this seminar, our church in New Cumberland and two other churches in that area, Church of God, went together, and on Saturday night once a month, they have all three churches, their youth come together and do a worship service. And there's not one adult involved in the worship service. They're all teenagers, 15 and 16-year-olds, and 15-year-olds are teaching lessons and speaking. They do their own music and everything. And they're having anywhere from 25 to 30 to 40 teenagers coming together on a Saturday night to do worship. You know, I talked a little bit about 1 Samuel chapter 7 last week. I want to go back, touch on some things. Also learned the very fact that, you know, the way to learn is repetitive. It takes a person 23 times to hear something, the same thing, 23 times before they remember it. How many of you remember last week's sermon? Thought so. All right. I'll be reading just one verse. I'll start with verse 13 and go to 18. Well, I better get 1 Samuel. So the Philistines were subdued and did not invade Israelite territory again. Throughout Samuel's lifetime, the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines. The towns of Ekron and to Gath that the Philistines had captured from Israel were restored to her. Israel delivered the neighboring territory from the power of the Philistines, and there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. Samuel continued to judge over Israel all the days of his life. From year to year, he went on a circuit from Bethel to Gilgal to Mezbeth, judging Israel in all those places. But he always went back to Ramah, where his home was, and there he also judged Israel. And he built an altar there to the Lord. Looking at that, you know, if we look at the passage and start from the beginning, we see that the Philistines kept coming into Israel, kept killing the soldiers. I mentioned last week 30,000 were killed at one time, and then another 4,000 was killed. And they would rob and they would take the plunder back with them. And you know, the people put up with this, and they just couldn't understand why all this is going on. Why is this happening? And so forth. And you know, they would just constantly be thinking, what's wrong with me? You know, every one of us at one time or another, when things didn't go right, we would look at ourselves and would ask ourselves, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why can't I do this or that, and so forth, right? It's like when we come to the scriptures. A lot of people say, well, I don't know the scriptures. Well, why don't you know the scriptures? Every one of us know how to read, right? I know there's not very many pictures in the scriptures in the Bible, other than if you get a child's Bible, you've got a lot of pictures, and that might help you out too. But really, what's our excuse? Someone was mentioning something to me this past week, and they said, did you read it? And I said, no, I didn't read that. And they said, well, yeah, I'd get one of those fish wrappers. Well, it was about fish wrappers, and read it. And I said, I don't even think we have one. And I asked Carol if we had one. Yeah, it's laying out there. Oh, okay.